The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we're on Love 99.5 FM. We're on over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions on Kekeli Radio in Ho, Flow FM in Aflao, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Ganga FM in Jirapa. We're on Radio Max in Takrade. Better still, you can join us on Twitter Spaces, Facebook, and myjoyonline.com app. This afternoon, petroleum consumers up in arms against government yet again as fuel prices hit an all-time high, with some products selling for as much as 23 cedis per litre.
If I fell first, it was 350, but right now almost 600 Ghana cedis. If fuel prices go higher, things too go high. So at least they should do something about the fuel prices for us.
The rate it is increasing is too much.
And as the oil marketing companies justify the increase, government says its plan to import cheaper fuel has already taken off despite uncertainty surrounding when such products will hit the pumps.
I've already started some work on it even in the weeks gone by. Traveled out, met some of the other sovereigns and some of the other sources.
So we've already been out of the country engaging with
that has already
possible suppliers.
That has already started.
And we have assurances that we'll get it at affordable prices.
I'm saying that the work has already started.
And as Ghana's debt restructuring enters the barbering saloon, it's unclear the haircut to give it.
There will be no haircut.
As the days go by, he will swallow his pride and word.
We hear from the actors as negotiations with the IMF enters final stage. Also, workers of Valco step up protest to remove 9 management members, including the CEO, as they claim the company will require over $10 million to return the main production plant back to life after Gridco cut power supply to the entity.
To bring oneself back to life, it's more than 100,000 US dollars. You don't have money to increase my salary from 1,989 to 2,600, but you have money to bring back the dead pots that you have intentionally and deliberately schemed up to kill.
We'll hear from the workers. Also in sports,
the Ghana men's 4x100 meter relay team may have gained automatic qualification to next year's World Athletics Championships, but it's not all good news for the Ghana Athletics Association.
And after a brief break, your popular gospel show, Adum Praise, is back.
Starting from 1:30 on Adum FM, we have the likes of Scott Evans, Rama Entry, Celestine Donko, Pastor Manu Kree.
We have the praise before the big praise later today on our Adum FM. I'll tell you all about it. That and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please stay for details. Many thanks for your company once again. We're digging now, and this afternoon the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian gets worse. Fuel prices have once again hit an all-time high. Some products are selling as high as 23 cedis at the pumps. Consumers are begging for urgent steps to stem the hike in price of the product believed to be the cause of current high cost of living. This latest increment comes barely 48 hours after President Akufo-Addo announced plans to import cheaper fuel. The latest adjustment, however, continues to bite hard.
If I fell first, it was 350, but right now almost 600 Ghana cedis. If I fell this car, yeah.
How is it impacting on your activity?
Well, I don't make money. You know, sometimes you would drive all day, and even fuel money you will not get. But we are hoping and praying to God that things can turn around for us one day. Yeah. If fuel prices go higher, things too go high. So at least they should do something about the fuel prices for us.
We are feeling it. And the rate at which it is increasing, that is our problem. Formerly, it's increased in bits. So with maybe 2-3 weeks, you know how to manage and then get to level, but then the rate it is increasing is too much, so you don't even get to yourself, then another increment come, so it's like you are not able to strategize or do anything. Well, now it is not about making profit, it is about praying to God to get something to eat, because as I said, you get up in the morning, you have kids in the house, your wife in the house, and you leave the house with this 150 that I bought this morning. I'm even praying to God that I will break even. I'm even praying that I will break even. Because if it doesn't happen so, then it means you have to find another money from somewhere to top up and buy the next fuel. So it is not good at all. It is not good at all for us.
Oh, Bama, now say no pay what to the any day. Then Tony will be a cosro. Those are system bedding, in bedding, but baby, I con the heading. It's almost an ammonia be found.
Thank you.
Well, the oil marketing companies, however, say the new prices are a reflection of the depreciation of the cedi and prices on the international market. Kweku Ajimandia is CEO of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies.
There will be
an increase in the next pricing window.
Yes. Because of the gyration of cedi versus the dollar. For petrol, we're expecting 17.
Asking 17 cedi and later for the lowest for the lowest side of the spectrum.
Yes. Remember, over a period, we have really, the issues have been piling up. There's no window, we have to really get into it.
Well, government says its plan to import cheaper fuel has taken off. Kojo Ponkroma is Information Minister.
Today, you are operating a deregulated market where BDCs go out there and buy from refineries and OTCs. We have had times in our republic where we have had similar challenges, causing the need or generating the need for the government to arrange direct supply channels, sometimes with sovereigns. In President Kufuor's day, we did it with Nigeria, with Sahara lifting for us. And you could have supply credit lines and a fixed price that you could bank on. It's a very similar arrangement that has already commenced, the exploration of which has already commenced. And I'm expecting that in the coming weeks, the MP, the Energy Ministry, will have the opportunity to provide the details.
Are we going to seek the concessionary pricing in terms of securing this reliable, affordable on crude or on refined products?
I'm saying to you that I'm going to let the Energy Ministry and the MP provide you all of those details.
Okay, so do we know that as of
they
now?
have already started some work on it, even in the weeks gone by. Traveled out, met some of the other sovereigns and some of the other sources.
So we've already been out of the country engaging with
that has already started.
Possible suppliers.
That has already started.
And we have assurances that we'll get it at affordable prices.
I'm saying that the work has already started. I will want them to come and put out those details.
So where in the world is government going to source affordable petroleum products when everywhere else is expensive?
Well, two things. I'm not going to preempt what the people responsible for the sector are going to do. I've told you that we are scheduling for all of them to come and provide you their detailed presentations. And during those detailed presentations, all of these questions can be put to them.
That's the Information Minister, Kojo Ponkroma, there speaking to Evans Spence on PM Express last night. Now, let's take a look at the impact of this is having on the prices of goods and services. Escalating food prices continue to rock the budget in Ghanaian homes, and the trend doesn't seem to be easing anytime soon. At the Makola market, oil and rice prices have doubled, such that mothers are adjusting the menu ahead of the Christmas festivities to accommodate their diminishing incomes. There's more in today's edition of our Living Standard series.
Bernice, a mother of 6, is dazed by the rising prices of groceries at the Makola market. She came from Pokwase to get some items for her home, but realized her budget of 1,000 cedis could only buy a few items off her list. She's upset and vents her frustration.
The prices are now double. It is not good. Where is the kaya? Bring the items. I came with 1,000 cedis, but I've only bought tomatoes. Pepsodent. This Pepsodent was 8 cedis last week. Now it is 16 cedis. Why?
The mother of 6 had to get cooking oil, but her preferred size was unavailable. Her gloomy mood worsened.
Last week, I was here to get rice and oil. The sachet oil was 22 cedis. But today, she tells me it is now 45 cedis. Look at what is remaining of the 1,000 cedis I came with. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need oil. I hope it will be sufficient. As for this Christmas, unless Akufo-Addo and Bawumia do something about the prices, we will eat banku and pepper until things get better.
Now, a farmer has also been pouring her frustration in making ends meet as the price of goods and services skyrockets on the market. Fatih phoned in to Love FM to join a discussion on surviving the current economic environment. She says persons in positions of authority should not be sleeping on the job.
Peasant farmers said things will be hard. We don't have fertilizers. We are suffering. These same ministers will come and say that is not it. A bunch of plantain is 5 cities. What we ladies are saying is getting to 100 cities. And soon Anado and team, they are still there. They are sleeping on the job. We voted for him. We are tired. Please. We are very, very tired. Ladies, we are suffering. Now we can't plan. How can one live in an economy where you cannot plan?
Meanwhile, economist Eric Nunu says the government's quest to boost exports will only work when the planting for food and jobs and industrialization policies are harmonized.
The school feeding program, if even we had given that money to one planting for food and jobs, we could have produced enough food to even supply cheaply to these schools. You understand? Than to implement these programs without any concrete foundational structures. Look, but my point is, if we are going to do more of exports, then these two important policies must be looked at well.
In the midst of all this, in less than a week, teacher trainees will be compelled to feed themselves. Principals of colleges of education have in a statement served of their inability to feed students starting from November 7. The Ministry of Education, however, says measures are in place to avert what could affect teacher training across the country. Kwesi Kwarteng is Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Education.
So currently we are in touch with Ministry of Finance to make sure that the issue is resolved as soon as possible. Of course, they also raise issues about, if you look at the amount that is allocated to each student, they are calling or looking for a review and kind of some upward adjustment. It is a consideration that we are also having a conversation on with regards to the subjects that they've raised with Ministry of Finance. So yes, as soon as possible, we assure them that even before the 7th of November ultimatum or deadline, the issue will be resolved ahead of time.
Well, Agric Minister Dr. Akoto Owusu-Efiye says government intends to cart agricultural products to Accra as a means of reducing prices. He's been speaking during a tour of farming communities in the Western North region.
If you say,
the price of food in Accra is so high. One of you said the price of plantain from the farm gate to Sefiyoso here increases about 3-fold. How about when they are taken to Accra? That can increase by 10-fold. So those in Accra think there is no food, but there is a lot of food around, as you know. We only have to ensure that we get the price reduced for the people in Accra. So the ministry from next week will transport food to the ministry to sell to the people there.
Minister of Food and Agriculture. No, I better now who say, Western North for and they move feeding craft for them.
All that you have told us about what the ministry can do to enhance your work, we will do it.
Well, that's a great minister, Dr. Akoto Owusu-Efiye there. Well, let's talk about our debt situation, and the proposed debt restructuring for the consideration of the International Monetary Fund is currently in the barbering salon as government considers the appropriate haircut to give it. To leave it afro or cut it down remains a controversial issue. But President Akufo-Addo is emphatic that there will be no haircuts.
I also want to assure all Ghanaians that no individual or institutional investor, including pension funds, government treasury bills or instruments, will lose their money as a result of our ongoing IMF negotiations. There will be no haircuts. So I urge all of you to ignore the false rumors. Just as in the banking sector cleanup, government ensured that the 4.6 million depositors affected by the exercise did not lose their deposits.
But the minority NDC in Parliament is not convinced. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu and his ranking member on the Finance Committee, Dr. Kaisa Latro-Forson, says their checks with the IMF suggest something deeper that will affect depositors.
President Nana Addo Dankwa was not forthright with the Ghanaian people, particularly persons with investment and savings in government bonds and instruments, when he went categorical that there will be no haircut. There will be, and there will be Baba. But it will be, the name of the Baba may be Scampedede. But let's see, as the days go by, he will swallow his pride and word.
Currently, external debt servicing is 35% of revenue. If you want to move it backwards, you either introduce a lot more taxes, which obviously we do not have that room to do, and so you cannot do it without a haircut. I am projecting that government of Ghana cannot do without haircut.
So why would the president say that? I mean, there's agreement I've heard.
So I'm telling you that
say that
there was going to be an external haircut on external debt, both principal and that of coupons, interest. Domestic, there will be some form of haircut. My model tells me that there will be some form of haircut on the interest payment on domestic. And there's a possibility that they can do some minimal haircut on domestic bonds. I'm surprised that the president will come out and make that category.
But that's just...
So haircut or no haircut, Information Minister Kojo Ponkroma has been providing further details.
It's not synonymous to debt restructuring. Debt restructuring is a broader exercise. There are some times where debt restructuring requires a haircut, and usually when you say a haircut, it means principal haircut. I watched my friend Ato Forson's presentation with John Dramani Mahama a couple of days ago, the former president, and he was categorical, principal haircuts. Now, there are various ways of dealing with debt restructuring. There are some where you go for haircuts. There are some where you go for reprofiling. There are some where you go for elongation of tenors, etc. Now, government had not announced anything. What happened was that speculation started, and indeed some persons took the speculation to another level by attempting now to be categorical and talking about principal haircuts. And the president was quite clear that that is not going to happen.
So principals will not be touched, but that means a host of things could still is in play, which is extension of maturities, renegotiation of interests.
There are various options.
Are still on the table.
There are various options. The details of the strategy have not been announced. They will be announced. There was specific speculation that the president was dealing with, and that's what he's spoken to.
So this specifically is on haircuts, but on the table still are possible renegotiation of maturity days, which could be extended, and also interest rates could be renegotiated downwards. That is on the table.
Those details will be announced later.
Okay, so
I have said that no haircut is not equal to no debt restructuring.
That's Information Minister Kojo Ponkroma. Let me take you to Parliament now, where the minority is protesting the laying of a constitutional instrument that, when mature, will make the Ghana card the sole form of identification for registration as a voter. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante joins us online with updates on this. Kweku, what's the NDC's justification for protesting this CI? It looks like I've just lost parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante. We'll work the lines and get him back. But we'll stay in Parliament, where the majority leader, Sechi Mensah-Bonsu, has revealed that a wealthy businessman tried to change the minds of majority MPs who were calling for the sacking of Ken Ofori-Atta. This revelation is coming on the back of warning by the spokesperson of the majority MPs who wants Ken Ofori-Atta out, Andy Apiakubi, that any attempt to bribe them to change their stance will be resisted. In a yet-to-be-aired interview for PM Express this evening, the majority leader said he cannot confirm if the businessman tried to induce the MPs, but said the unnamed businessman has a way of dealing with both the NDC and NPP.
Not privy to whatever inducements that people are offering. I'm not privy to that at all. I've heard, though, that some businessman came here, was it the Thursday that I left? I came here Thursday early morning and left around, I think, 10 o'clock or so, to where we're having the cabinet retreat. I'm told on authority that some businessman came here and tried to do something. He's a businessman that I know. Honestly, I've not spoken with him ever since I heard that matter. And I don't want to, cite him here. But I've not spoken with him. I was told that he came here and tried to mediate in his own way what he thinks the problem is and try to...
This is a wealthy businessman, is he?
Come again?
This is a wealthy businessman, is he?
Is a wealthy businessman that people know. And so that's all that I know about it. But he was repelled by the people and he was told to not to involve himself. So he went away.
The majority leader also explained that despite the MPs who represent about 95% of the majority caucus standing down their demands to sack the minister after IMF talks and the budget, the president did not give any commitment to accepting their demand.
Conclusion of the negotiation with the IMF, after a while, we had some agreement on that. some were saying that, well, after the event he should leave and hand over to another person to present the budget. But eventually, that one was also acceded to. And then it was, okay, if he presented the budget, he should leave. And I appeal to them that you don't have the situation when the person who presents the budget on behalf of the president and whose name is stamped on the budget, then will have to exit for another person to present the appropriations bill. So eventually, after a marathon meeting with my colleagues, a 6-hour meeting, all these 3 proposals that I had put before them were agreed to.
So let me clarify. Did the president say categorically that I will sack him after the IMF, after the budget and the IMF is done?
The president did not say that.
Majority Leader Osechi Mensabon. So the full interview airs this evening on the PM Express. It will be on Joy News, myjoyonline.com, and all our social media platforms. Let's go to current happenings now in Parliament. Quick question joins us on the line. So we know that the NDC has been justifying why they are protesting against the laying of the CI. Tell us more.
Indeed, a petition has been presented to the House from the National Democratic Congress. It was expected that the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, will be presenting this petition that is seeking to stop the EC from laying this new CI that will make the Ghana card the only requirement to enroll onto the voters register. Haruna Idrisu has just informed the House that he is standing now this petition to further consult with leadership on both sides. So this petition has been stood down.
And what more is expected to happen in the House?
Well, so matters regarding the vote of censure against Ken Ofori-Atta came up again. Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin to raise some preliminary objection to how the motion has been listed. He said the Finance Minister must be given enough notice to be able to prepare his defense. But according to Second Deputy Speaker, who is speaking for the Speaker who has traveled, these matters have to be also stood down for the Speaker to return to be able to make some determination of that.
That's parliamentary correspondent Quick Question there, taking us on a quick break here on the Midday News Live on Joy 99.7 FM, also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. We're on over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We are live on Twitter Spaces, Facebook, and myjoyonline.com. We've been hearing from petroleum consumers who are up in arms against government yet again as fuel prices hit an all-time high, with some products selling for as much as 23 cedis per litre. When we return, we have sport, and then the first part of the 12th edition of Adum Praise Festival comes off in the next hour at the Joy FM car park.
Charlie, in life, something must kill you. And for me, Rock GH, they kill me with juicy local shows, movies, and soaps all week, every week. See, from Monday to Thursday at 9 p.m., Office Palava kills me with laughter and kasa. Then at 9:30 p.m. from Monday to Friday, Odomu Wahala kills me with suspense and drama overload. Then, third Friday of every month is Fresh New Movies Night. Tune into Rock GH on DSTV channel 164 or GoTV channel 117. Rock GH, home of Ghanaian entertainment.
Ayami, if I say EGL Bazaar, say it be Bazaar. Electroland Ghana Limited is running a tech sale all you can grab bazaar. Items are a mixture of brand new, slightly used, crashed, showroom display, repaired and dented. Get up to 80% off. EGL Bazaar runs from Friday to Sunday. That is on the 4th, 5th and 6th November from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Location, Coca-Cola Roundabout, Spintex. Satisfy your tech hunger with products from NASCO, Samsung, Media, Toshiba, and more. Samsung television at 1,199 Ghana cedis. Grab a NASCO top load washing machine 6 kg, 1,299 Ghana cedis. Media toaster 399 Ghana cedis. Grab for yourself smartphones, accessories, candle lights, washing machines, fridges, ovens, gas stoves, vacuum cleaner, dispenser. Quickly jot down the numbers. Call 0242 439 437.
EGL, home of electronics and appliances.
Thanks so much for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's do sports. Tahiru Fento has the very latest.
Thank you, Emefa. Now, due to the postponement of the 2023 World Relays to 2025, Ghana's men's relay team have secured an automatic qualification to next year's World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. The World Relays was supposed to be the qualifying event for next year's World Championships, But the postponement now means all the top 8 teams from this year's World Championships held in Oregon gain automatic entry to the next event. Ghana, of course, finished 5th in that competition. This is not exactly good news for the Ghana Athletics Association, who now must find alternative ways of preparing the team for the competition. Here's the CEO, Bao Fuseni.
This is good news and at the same time bad news. It's good news for our athletes that have gained the automatic qualification to the World Championship. Otherwise, they would have gone to the World Relay to book their qualifications. The other side of it is that how do we prepare our athletes to get to the World Championship? If we had the opportunity for the World Relays, the athletes could have come together to train for the World Relay before the World Championship. Now the World Relay is out of the question now, and the challenge is how to put these athletes together at least for 4 to 6 weeks before going to the World Championship. That has always been our challenge. We're praying and hoping that this time around, from now up to June, July, August next year, we should have the opportunity to come these athletes in Europe for at least 4 to 6 weeks for them to gel together, to prepare, to train and practice together.
Bao Fuseni is the CEO of the Ghana Athletics Association, bringing an end to sports.
Thank you very much, Fent. Now, there's an easy calm at the Tema-based Volta Aluminium Company, VALCO, following decision by the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, to cut power to the main producing plant. VALCO, with the capacity to produce 200,000 metric tons per annum of aluminium products, ranks among the huge primary aluminium producers in the world. But today, it's a ghost town, but more instructive is the claim that it will require over $10 million to bring the over 120 cells back to life after power was cut last night. Chairman of the Local Workers Union, Edgar Tete, tells my colleague Elton Broby the development simply constitutes a financial loss to the state.
Each cell, we have 200 cells now, each cell is over $100,000 to bring it back to life. Now the cells are dead. All the cells are dead now. This is going to be a cost to the nation because VALCO is now 100% TAG. You need over 100,000 to resurrect one cell.
And how many cells are we talking about?
We're talking about the active ones are about 127 cells.
And to bring one back on life will require $100,000
per one. So multiply $100,000 by the 127.
And we will have to bring it back to life because of the fact that electricity has been cut off.
Exactly. So now what we do, you bring them back to life and then you put in the electricity.
He also called on the president to investigate allegations of malfeasance and corruption at the entity. For some workers, the protest will go on until those who have attained the mandatory retirement age retire.
And what they've done to Ghana, Dana Champon and his colleagues and whoever is in government who allow them to take the power, they've done disservice to this nation.
Why do you say that?
Listen, before you take the power from VALCO, you have to inform VALCO to do the right things. The right things are meant to take the liquid power out of the cells, the pot. If you leave the liquid in the pot before you take the power, bringing it back, you cannot.
Well, my colleague Elton Broby has been following up on this issue at VALCO, joins us in the studio. What exactly are we learning?
So, Emefa, they say that they have a statement which will come up very shortly.
Okay, well, we wait for that, and that's Elton Broby with details of that. It's time for Adum Praise. Ye Behim, are you ready with your handkerchiefs? The car park of Joy FM will in the next hour be packed with gospel artists for the first part of Adum Praise Festival 2022, hosted by our sister station Adum FM. Now, yes, what to expect?
Today is day one. We are doing some exciting upcoming acts and some matured acts that are going to put together a show starting from 1:30 on Adom FM.
You should start making your way to Kokomlimle Joy FM premises. It's the 12th edition of Adum Praise. It's the first day of the 2-day festival this year, and you can't miss it. You heard there the events and promotions manager here at Multimedia Group Limited, Charles Na, giving us what to expect. It'll also be live on our Adum FM 106.3. You'd want to stay. Living Word with Pastor Mensah Otabil is up next. I am Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for your company. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com.
It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content.